So we can start with working on the neck, and just the same as we do in therapeutic qigong. Inhale and turn your head as far as you can to one side, and then inhale, turn your head as far as you can to the other side, exhaling to the front again. We'd normally do this lying on our back. And then we can just drop the head to one side, maybe add the weight of the arm to get a bit of a stretch into the neck. Not pulling, but just releasing that muscle to give it a nice stretch, and then helping the head back up and doing the same to the other side. Just relaxing it down. And then helping it back up. And then we can put the hands on the collarbones while we inhale the elbows up and out to the sides, and then exhale as they come down. We do that 5 times, giving the shoulders a nice rotation. And then 5 times in the opposite direction. Okay, and then we can inhale both hands up towards the ceiling, bringing the shoulders back, stretching through the fingers, and then as you exhale slowly, bringing the hands down, shoulders back, maybe feeling the shoulder blades coming together, and then inhaling up again, and exhaling down. And a 3rd time. And as we come out of this one, we'll twist. So exhale, twisting to your left and bringing your right hand onto the left knee and looking over your left shoulder. And then taking 4 or 5 breaths. Remember to use your left hand close to the spine to keep the spine vertical. On each of your exhales, see if you can just get a little bit more twist into the spine without straining, but just looking for that relaxation into the twist. And then on your next inhale, sweeping the arms around and up, and exhaling to the other side. Again, 4 or 5 breaths. And then again, inhaling up to the front, exhaling down, shoulders back, inhale up, and bring the hands together overhead, and then bring them down to the chest, interlink the fingers and push them out, turn the hands over and inhale towards you. Exhale, turning the palms out again and pushing away from you, and then inhale up overhead. Exhale down again, pulling in the stomach, arching the back, and then inhale up. Exhale down, and inhale up. And one more, and then we'll twist to the side. So inhale up, and then exhale, bending to one side and looking up to the other side. And inhale up. Exhale, bending over to the other side and looking up. And inhale back. And twice more to each side. And these are nice steady movements. And then we can bring the hands down in front of us again and just work the wrists by making a wave-like action flowing through from one side to the other. And then clasping the hands together and rotating in an infinity symbol sign. And then one more exercise for the fingers and hands, and that's the plucking exercise. So it's a twist of the hand. It's quite a quick twist of the wrist and the hand. And you're starting with the hand open and then plucking quite rapidly round. And you can do it alternately, or you can do both at the same time. And you can feel after doing that a few times that it is working the forearm muscles, it is working the wrists. It's quite a vigorous action. Okay, and then from there, lean over onto one side, onto the forearm, and then stretch the other side. And again, you can look up at the ceiling if you want. And then on your next exhale, just reach the arms out in the direction of your thigh so that you're leaning out at about 45 degrees and you're relaxing your body towards the floor. And you're just noticing where you might be feeling any resistance. You might feel resistance in the knee, the opposite knee, or the hip. You might feel it in the back. And so again, we're taking 4 or 5 breaths. We often use 4 or 5 breaths because about 20 to 30 seconds is the time it takes for muscles to relax in a new position, to just let go. And then we can come back onto the forearm, back into the stretch of the other side, and then up to the center. Lean back onto our hands and swap the legs over to balance things out as we do the same on the other side. Coming down onto that forearm, nice stretch, maybe looking up at the ceiling, and then on your next exhale, stretching out over the other thigh. And it's interesting to check, is this an easier pose than the other side? Do you find resistance in a different part of the body than you did on the other side? And then we can come back onto the forearm, nice stretch, and then back up to a central position. And from here, we can go into cat-cow. So we can just spin round into our cat-cow position. So, or tabletop, ready for cat-cow. So exhaling and arching your back, and then inhaling, dropping the belly towards the mat, looking straight ahead, cow pose, and then we exhale back into cat pose. So nicely warming up and flexing the spine. We're alternately stretching and compressing the muscles of the back and the muscles of the front. That's a really good exercise for the spine. You're also strengthening the arms and the shoulders in this position, though not as much as you would in the plank. So what you can do is stay in cat-cow if you're enjoying that, or if you like, you can move your knees a little bit further back, putting that extra little bit of weight onto the shoulders. If you have weak wrists, you may want to turn the hands into fists. You might find that easier. Again, you can move your knees further back, increasing the weight on the shoulders, or if you like, you can tuck the toes underneath and come into the full plank, looking for a nice straight body. Notice I've not got my bottom stuck up in the air. I've got a nice straight body, and 4 or 5 breaths. Remember that you can remain with your knees on the mat if the plank isn't suitable for you. If you don't like doing the plank, stick with cat-cow, or just with your knees a little bit further away from your hands. And then we can come down from there and come down onto our elbows. Again, you can stay on your elbows. You can go into puppy pose, stretching your arms out and bringing your chest towards the mat, getting a nice back bend. If, however, you want to work more on the shoulders in a strength mode, a strengthening exercise would be to come onto one side. So I've still got one knee underneath me and the other leg is stretched out, and then I've got one arm stretching up towards the ceiling. If you want, you can come from this pose into a full side plank pose for 4 or 5 breaths. And coming out of it and coming back onto the knee. If you're already on your knee, just come back into tabletop, and then you can do the same on the other side. Centralize your hand, stretch one leg out, remain on one knee and bring the other hand up towards the ceiling. Or again, you can come into the full side plank, lifting the other knee, and then again it's 4 or 5 breaths. And coming back from that to come back into tabletop, and from tabletop we can come into a lower position, back onto the elbows. We can move the knees further back, putting more weight onto the elbows and the shoulders, or we can come into elbow plank, just lifting the knees off altogether. And again, 4 or 5 breaths. And for this, you want to be looking down at the mat. Again, keeping your head your neck in a straight line with your spine. It's not wrong, you can look straight ahead. I prefer to keep my neck in a straight line with the spine for this. And then again, coming out of that and back into tabletop. And from tabletop, you can stretch out one leg, or if you like, you can come up off the other leg as well, so that you are coming into plank, but it's plank with one leg raised. And again, it would be for 4 to 5 breaths. And then if you've come off the knee for that, come back down onto the knee, swap over, lift the other leg, or come into the plank version again. 4 or 5 breaths. And then coming out of that and back into child's pose. So from tabletop, just sink back, and you can come for a few breaths now. We're just going to ease out of that. We can ease out of it in extended child with the arms stretched out, or you can bring your hands back towards your feet and relax your head down, as always, on a cushion, on a yoga block, on the mat, on your fists if you want. And in that position, just take note of how your arms feel, how your shoulders feel, how your wrists feel, because you've given them a really good exercise in the last 10 minutes. So it's been all about strengthening those muscles and joints. So it's always good to stop and be aware of the effects of particular exercises. Okay, from here, if we come up, bring the hands in front of us, tuck the toes underneath. We'll come briefly into downward facing dog, and then just feel that position of pushing down through the fingers, releasing the heels towards the floor. And then we've done quite a bit of work, as I say, on wrists and hands recently, so we can walk the feet to the hands and come into ragdoll, where again we can just let go. So we can nod the head and shake the head to release any tension from around the neck. We can wriggle the shoulders to release any tension from there. And then coming up very, very slowly, uncurling the spine as we come into a position ready for our arms and shoulders sequence. And so we can start off with that by just touching the opposite shoulder and then swinging the arm around and up the back, so we're getting as big a range of movement into that shoulder. We can do the same for the other shoulder. And then we can get both going. And then we can take the right hand and place the right hand at the base of the neck and take the left hand onto the elbow and use it to just push the hand a little bit further down the back, getting an extra stretch into the triceps on the back of the upper arm here. 4 or 5 breaths, feeling that stretch, and then doing the same on the other side. And then we can take it a stage further using the belt, if you want, just taking it and dropping it from the right hand down the back to the left hand, and then you might want to just nibble away at the distance in between, pulling the belt so that you're getting the hands closer together, and then maybe pulling the left hand up, maybe holding it there, maybe gently working the hands up and down, whichever you feel is the most effective for you. Or you may want to put the belt to one side for a minute now and then use the same idea but without the belt, pushing the left hand as high up your back as you can. I find it helps to use the right hand, and then swing the right hand round in a big arc, and when the fingers interlock, use that to pull the hands together, being aware of the stretch in the deltoids and that left shoulder there, not overdoing it, and getting the upper arm close to the head, so you're stretching up through the crown of the head, and this upper arm is right beside the head. It's not, you know, you don't want the elbow facing forwards or out to the side. You want it nice and straight, and then relaxing into the pose for 4 to 5 breaths. Now, as I say, it's quite a stretch for that deltoid. That's where most people feel it, in that shoulder. Some people feel it on the back of the triceps there, on that, but most people feel it there. So with it being so stretched, remember to release nice and gently with control. Don't let it spring out. That's when you can cause a bit of pain. And then the same on the other side, so dropping from the left to the right and maybe nibbling away, bringing the hands together, and then maybe working up and down, maybe holding it, pulling the right hand as high as you can and holding it there, and then pulling the left hand down and holding it there. Or, as I say, you may want to do without it altogether. Pull the right hand across and push it up your back, and then swing the left arm round in a big arc and pull the hands together. And with your focus on wherever you're feeling the most resistance, and as I say, it's usually that right shoulder where you feel it. So just focusing on that and relaxing into it. And then when you're ready to come out, just coming out of it nice and gently, relaxing. rolling the shoulders round, and then rolling the shoulders round in the opposite direction. And then after pulling the shoulders back, we like to pull the shoulders forwards. So I'm just putting the yoga belt to one side for a moment, and we start by bringing the left hand across, pointing over to the right, and bring the forearm of the right side against the upper arm of the left, and use that to pull the shoulder forwards. So we've just been pulling them back by reaching behind our back. We've been stretching the muscles at the front and strengthening and contracting the muscles at the back. Now we're doing the opposite. We're pulling these muscles forward and we're stretching those muscles that run out from the spine to the shoulder blade. We're giving them a nice stretch. And after 4 or 5 breaths, we can do the same on the other side. And that's preparing us nicely for eagle arms. So eagle arms is where we will wrap the arms around one another. If you're going into the full eagle pose, we'll be crossing the legs and going into a balance as well. But to start with, let's pop the left elbow on top of the right and then bring the hands as close together as we can. And here we have a choice. If you want to focus on breathing into the back of your lungs, then just lean forwards, bend your head forwards, and bring your mind to bear on that space between the shoulder blades and breathe deeply into that space, feeling the back of the lungs expand and exhaling. If you want to work on the balance, then I've brought the left elbow on top, so I'm going to bring the right knee on top. I'm going to bend the left knee so that I have that extra little bit of stability, and then I bring the right foot around and I place it on the floor while I set myself up, and then I raise the elbows and I look for a drishti point. So for me, I've got a little gap there between the wrists and I'm looking through that and I'm looking at the point of the camera. That's my drishti point to focus on. And now I'm set up, I'm ready to lift the other foot. So I bring that up and wrap it as far as I can round the other leg for 4 or 5 breaths. And then coming out of that, again, just roll the shoulders around, loosening them and around the other way. And then we can put the right elbow on top of the left. And again, bring the hands together. Again, choose between bending and focusing on the spot between the shoulder blades, or bend your right knee and bring the left foot across and just use that to steady yourself. You might want to stay in that position and strengthen your feelings, your awareness in that position. Otherwise, find your drishti point, lifting your elbows, and then when you feel steady and settled, just lift that other foot off the floor for 4 or 5 breaths. And then come out of that nice and gently. And again, you might want to roll the shoulders roll them in the opposite direction. You might want to roll them in opposite directions. And the other way. And it's normal to have it slightly easier on one side than the other for most poses. And certainly I there find it much easier to balance on my left leg and bring the right one around than to try and wrap the left foot around the right calf. So that there's, don't ever worry if you're finding that it's much easier to do a pose on one side than it is on the other. Okay, from here now, parachute pose is always a good way to finish after some strong work on the shoulders. So we can do that by, remember, you bring the belt underneath the armpits and make sure they're about equal length on each side, and then throw them over the top. So you've got them across the back and over the top, and then you reach for the opposite end of the belt, and then you just relax the shoulders and let the weight of the arms just pull them back. It's a really nice relaxing pose to hold for 4 or 5 breaths. And releasing from that, we can go into our warrior flow. So, nice wide stance for warrior 2. Remember, the legs are active. We're strengthening the legs in this pose. We're pushing down through the feet, pushing them away from one another. Spine's vertical, the arms are out, checking the back arm is parallel with the floor as well. And then we turn the palm of the leading hand up towards the ceiling and inhale as we stretch up, bringing the other hand down to the back of the leg, and exhale, coming back into warrior 2. Inhale, going into side angle, nice stretch, and exhale back into warrior 2. And twice more, just flowing through the moves and coordinating the breath with the movement. And returning to warrior 2 for the last time. And then we do the same on the other side. Remember, the knee wants to be directly over the ankle. It does no harm if it's a little bit further back, but you definitely don't want to get the knee ahead of the ankle. Okay, from warrior 2, inhale up into reverse warrior. Exhale back. Through warrior 2, inhaling into side angle. And exhale back. And twice more. Last one. Okay, so from here, let's go back down onto the mat, and come into downward facing dog for a moment. Now what I want to do now is get a good flow of blood to the brain. So downward facing dog is a nice way of doing that. If you feel that you've done enough work on the hands and shoulders and you want to therefore go into puppy, you are still getting that flow of blood to the brain. Another option is bringing the legs to a wall. And remember, if you're bringing the legs to the wall and you're relaxing the legs to the wall, you can also open the hips by bringing the feet out to the side, or going into a version of cobblers, or just having the soles of the feet against the wall and the knees bent. In all these cases, you're giving a different flow of blood to the brain. The other option, and if you're not sure about this, I wouldn't do it, but it's the shoulder stand. For the shoulder stand, you want a nice support underneath the shoulders, so it's a good idea to fold your mat up several times, lie with your back down on it, and just check with your hands that you're in the right place. Your shoulders are in the right place, your neck is off the floor. You definitely don't want any weight on the floor, on the neck. And then with your hands at the sides, you bring your knees up and you're pushing down on your hands as you bring the knees over, and then push up and bring your hands to support your hips. And then the weight of your legs and hips are working in this position through your hands and elbows. You can notice I'm lifting my head. I have no weight on my neck at all. I have the weight of the torso on my shoulders, and the weight of the hips and legs are on my hands and elbows. So I'm getting a nice flow of blood to the brain, but I'm not causing any problems to the neck. And unless you do this shoulder stand regularly, I wouldn't stay in it too long. Just do 4 or 5 breaths and then bend the knees and come out with control, nice and steadily. Following that, we can go into our core work. So for the core work, remember you've got the option of soles of the feet on the floor, pushing the small of the back down into the mat, pulling in the pelvic floor, holding for a count of 10 while you breathe normally, relaxing for a count of 10 while you breathe normally, and alternating that action. Really good for the pelvic floor. Alternatively, you can raise and lower your legs. You can bring both legs up and down at the same time. You can hug your knees to your chest as you exhale and open up like a flower blossoming as you spread out your arms to the sides and your legs up at 60 degrees, and then exhale back together again. Or my favourite, the one with the thighs vertical, the calves parallel with the floor, and then bringing the hands behind the head, inhaling and exhaling as you bring your right elbow to your left knee, and inhale back. Exhale your left elbow to your right knee, and inhale back. And then another 9, exhaling forwards, inhaling back. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And the last one. And then you can relax and rest, or you can repeat any of the ones that we've just been through. Or if you want to do that last one again with me a little bit faster, then we'll start another 10. Now, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. And then both feet up to the vertical, arms at 45 degrees, head and shoulders off the floor. Bring the legs forward about 30 degrees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another 30 degrees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Couple of inches off the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lie back. Let the soles of your feet come together. Let your knees fall out to the side. And remember to breathe deeply into the abdomen. Maybe just relaxing your fingers onto the abdomen to help you focus on really swelling the abdomen up as you inhale deeply and emptying it as you pull the stomach in towards your spine, getting all the air out of the base of the lungs. And then you may want to just straighten the legs and go straight into your final relaxation. Or you may want to, if you're not too tired after what we've done, you may want to go into some gentle chakra yoga. So chakras are energy centers, and there's little wheels of energy all around the body, but there are 7 important ones. And the first one is right at the base of the spine, the Muladhara, and its colour is red. And the exercise for that one involves bringing the hands to the shoulders as you inhale, and then as you exhale, you shoot the arms up and you bring the knees up at the same time, and then you exhale down. So, sorry, you exhale down, you inhale up. So we'll do 10 of those, and nice and steadily. So inhale, bringing the knees and the arms up, and exhale down. Remember, you can be sitting on a cushion for this. Inhale and exhale. And if you like, you can be picturing a red whirling circle at the base of the spine. And the last one. Now the next exercise is for the next chakra, the next wheel of energy, just an inch or two above that red one. It's orange, and it's called Svadhisthana. And the exercise for that is one that we do regularly as one of the warm-ups. And for that we place the hands on the ankles and we exhale, rounding the spine and bending forwards, and then we inhale, bending the spine in the opposite direction. And again we do 10 of those. And the last one. Okay. The next one is from that same warm-up set. This time we have the hands out on the knees and we're circling with the belly, and we do 10 circles in one direction and then 10 in the other. So we're rolling the lower spine round. And this is for the third chakra, which is just around about the height of the navel. It's called the Manipura. Its colour is yellow. And another 5, 4, 3, 2, the last one, and then we rotate in the opposite direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. The next one again comes from that sequence. So the hands are on the shoulders and we're going to twist, and we normally inhale as we turn to the left and exhale as we turn to the right. We do that for the first 10 and then we do 10 in the opposite direction. So inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. 9, 8, 7, you can get faster in this if you want to. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhaling to the right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next chakra, and that was for the heart chakra, which is in green. The next one is for the throat chakra, which is the colour blue, light blue. And for this one, we take the hands underneath the chin and we inhale with the elbows raised, and we exhale, bringing the elbows together and looking up. And then we inhale, the elbows back up again. So from the front, it looks like that. From the side, it looks like that. So you're looking straight ahead and then you exhale looking up. So you're working the neck as well, because of course it's all about that throat and neck. So again, we'll do 10 of these, and we inhale the elbows up to begin with, looking straight ahead. Exhale, elbows together, looking up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll relax down. And the next chakra is at the third eye, just in the center of the forehead, or just between the eyebrows, just above there. We work on that one with the eyes. So for this one, we bring the hands in front of the eyes as we exhale, and just take a moment first to let the eyes settle. So the eyes are closed. And what we're going to do on an inhale, we're going to move the hands away from the eyes and find something, some colour to focus on in the image in front of us. Whatever we're seeing in front of us, it doesn't matter what you choose, just choose one article with that colour, and then we're going to close the eyes again and focus on seeing that colour. We're going to do it 10 different times with 10 different colours, 10 different things that we're going to see. So, inhale, sweeping the arms out to the sides and I'm picking on a colour blue that I'm seeing on the screen in front of me. So you choose yours, and then exhale, bringing the hands over and focus on seeing that image of what you've just been looking at. On the next inhale, choose something else. So open the eyes wide, choose, and I'm choosing the red at the center of that thing behind me, and then exhale, visualize whatever your eyes hit as they open them. And we'll do that 8 more times. So inhale and choose something. Exhale, close the eyes, visualize it. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. There might be 2 things of the same colour. 4 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale 3 and exhale. Inhale 2, exhale. Inhale once more and exhale. Focus on that last colour, keeping the eyes closed, and then see how many of the other things that you focused on you can bring into that image. And there's no judgment. Don't judge yourself if you can only bring in 1 or 2 things. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you are strengthening your powers of visualization. And then just bring the hands down. We go on to the last one, which is the crown chakra, Sahasrara. And for this one, we bring the hands to the heart to begin with. Again, we're doing it 10 times. We inhale the hands up, and we watch the hands as we go up, and we exhale, bringing the hands out to the sides, around and back to the heart. So inhale And exhale, bringing the hands down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. I think we have another 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. And just steady. Close the eyes. Focus on how the body feels. What has that exercise done for the energy in the spine? How does your spine feel? Are there particular points on the spine that attract your attention and your focus? And then you may want to spend a few minutes just lying on your back, relaxing. You may want to stay in that sitting position and continue to explore with a sense of curiosity the sensations that you're feeling in different parts of the body. And you may not be feeling anything, or your attention, your focus may be drawn to one particular area. So now, whether you're sitting in a meditative posture or lying relaxing, I'm just going to shut up and let you bring your awareness to your feelings, to your emotions, to the sensations that your body is providing for you. When you are ready to get on with the rest of your day, remember to come out nice and gently, maybe rubbing the hands together, getting them warm, and then letting that warmth soak into the eyes by cupping the palms over the eyes, opening the eyes into the darkness provided by the hands, and then withdrawing them slowly. Maybe wriggling fingers and toes, maybe stretching before rolling over onto your right side for a moment. And then using your left hand first to put yourself up into a sitting position, ready to get on with your day. So, hope you found that interesting. Feedback, as always, is welcomed, positive or negative. But I think there were some really good options in that last sequence for you to develop different energies and to be aware of the sensations created by them. And especially that one for visualization I think is a really good way of strengthening your powers of visualization. And as you know, every Saturday evening and Wednesday morning, Anne leads an excellent guided visualization for you to work on that power, if you like, that strength. So thank you all very much for joining me this morning. I'll just finish with that little peace prayer. Peace to the north, peace to the south, peace to the east, peace to the west, peace above and peace below, peace to all sentient beings. Thank you again, and Namaste.